Hi, everybody. I'm Christy Woods. I hope everybody's doing well. And my presentation will be about women's perspectives during the Haitian Revolution. And here are the themes and challenges I will be addressing during this presentation. The main reoccurring theme will be the Eurocentric nature of generations of research. So the Haitian Revolution was the first successful slave revolt, and it fascinated and horrified people, especially in Europe and throughout the Atlantic world. First accounts tended to rely heavily on classic literature and Greek and Roman mythology to explain events to European audiences. Women were depicted in traditional Roman Catholic and European gender roles. However, there were women fighters, some of them becoming senior military leaders. One interesting aspect about women fighters is they sometimes depicted themselves using masculine terms, uh, trying to show that they were just as heroic as any of the military men. As you can see there from the quote, uh, Haiti's history is early on was largely ignored by Western historians or from a very bigoted perspective. And in recent years, scholars such as Laurent Dubois have done painstaking research in verifying primary sources, and he has discovered numerous sources that were once thought to be reliable. They were completely made up. However, in earlier historiography, they were used as often as being an accepted um, primary source. Because of the challenges created by the initial historiography, researchers have looked for sources in literature and cultural studies. Gregory Perot is an English professor who is an expert in Haitian studies. He uses depictions in popular literature to examine how Europeans viewed the revolution. He has discovered that some of the speeches of Haitian leaders that were widely published in European media at the time never happened. So what does that mean for women? They were often depicted in highly sexualized ways and often as overly passionate. Also, the institution of slavery was often depicted using feminine terms, with individual women's perspective being largely marginalized. One example of how Europeans used classic literature to explain the Haitian Revolution was the rape of Lucretia. The rape of Lucretia has become a creation myth for nations over the centuries, with righteous death as a way to avoid sexual and racial slavery, and also justifies retribution, destroying the system, and suggested the rebels were the equal to the ruling class. The narrative around Lucretia can be both inspiring and tragic. She is oppressed, but gains her freedom through death and provides freedom for future generations. A, a useful symbol to depict the Haitian Revolution during the 18th century. Haitian voodoo was an intrinsic part of the Haitian Revolution, and women, in their role as priestess or mambus, had authority over the local community, and they could call upon the spirits. So Joan Dan argues that through understanding the goddess Urzuli and her manifestations, historians can better understand Haitian women. And I would like to highlight that the picture on that I've shown here is heavily inspired by traditional Roman Catholic pictures of the Virgin Mary. Cecile Fanaman was a priestess who helped preside over the ceremony that initiated the first stage of the slave revolt. In her role as priestess, she was possessed and commanded her followers to overthrow the French. This ceremony was one part religious ritual and one part planning meeting, as religion, gender, and politics intersected to create a revolution. Although finding sources about women's perspectives can be challenging, there are accounts written during the time period by women, though these women were often from Europe and did not fully understand the cultural differences and experiences of enslaved women. These European women were often sympathetic and attempted to provide historical context to the revolution, in sharp contrast to the more famous depictions of Haitian women in sexual terms or as sinners. So, in summary, Haitian women were vital to the success of the Haitian Revolution, serving as healers, spies, soldiers, and religious leaders. However, due to generations of misunderstandings, bigotry, the maligning of voodoo, and the acceptance of fake sources, their perspective has been marginalized throughout history. However, in recent years, scholars from multiple fields, such as gender studies and literature, have provided evidence and helped gain better understanding of women's roles during the Haitian Revolution.